Hello, konnichiwa. I'm Sakura. Today we're diving into something super cool. The order in which the Hashira joined the Demon Slayer Corps. There's not one single source that spells it all out, so I've pieced together info from the main story, spin-offs, and even the official fan books. Of course, I'll be mixing in some of my own guesses and theories too, you know, Sakura style. So let's break it down, starting from the very first Hashira. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's jump right in. Shiwachi! First up, Gyomei Himejima. We actually have a clear fact from the story. He became a Hashira at the age of 19. At that time, Uzui was only 15, and Gyu was just 13, meaning they weren't Hashira yet. So yeah, based on the timeline, Gyomei was the very first among the current members to earn the title. Fun fact, he was saved by Kaguya-sama at 18, and just 1 year later, he became a Hashira. That's insane, right? He basically climbed all the way to the top in just a year. And get this, even before he started official training, he was already out here punching demons to death with his bare hands. Like, excuse me? That's straight up monstrous. Normally, it takes 5 years to reach Hashira level, or maybe 2 if you're super talented. But Gyomei? He broke the system. No wonder he's called the strongest. Next up is my personal fave, Tengen Uzui. Yup, Sakura's official best boy. So, Uzui was born and raised in a brutal shinobi clan. And yeah, that childhood? Absolutely savage. He got so fed up with how twisted everything was that he ditched the village and never looked back. From the main story, we know that by the time he was 15, 7 of his 9 siblings had already died. And according to the fan book, during one of his masked training missions, he found out that he'd accidentally killed some of his own younger siblings. That was the final straw, and he ran. So if we put those clues together, it's pretty likely he left the village around age 15. Also, he's shown attending a Hashira meeting alongside Kanai, who died at age 17. Uzui is 2 years older than her, which means he must have already been a Hashira by age 19 at the latest. And honestly, with his insane shinobi level physical skills, it wouldn't be a shock if he rose to Hashira rank in just a year, kinda like Gyomei. So yeah, based on all that, Uzui probably became a Hashira around age 16 or 17, making him the second to join the ranks. Our third Hashira is none other than Gyu Tomioka. You know, the quiet, mysterious one who always looks like he's got too much on his mind. So, here's what we know. He passed the final selection and joined the Demon Slayer Corps at just 13 years old. And we also see him attending a Hashira meeting with Kanai, who, again, died at age 17. Since Gyu is the same age as Kanai, that means he had to have become a Hashira before turning 17. But here's the thing. Unlike Gyomei or Uzui, Gyu wasn't born with crazy physical strength or ninja tier combat skills. He was talented, yeah, but not superhuman. So I don't think he made it to Hashira in just 1 year. Even 2 years feels a little tight, honestly. That's why I'm guessing he became a Hashira around 16 or 17, putting him in 3rd place on this list, right after Uzui. Coming in 4th is Kanai Koso. Now, we know for sure that she died at just 17 years old, which means she obviously had to become a Hashira before that. She also shows up in the Hashira meeting when Sanemi gets promoted, so that confirms she became a Hashira before him. So now the big question is, did Kanai become a Hashira before or after Gyu? We don't know exactly when she joined the Corps, but here's my theory. If we assume that Gyomei rescued the Kocho sisters right after becoming a Hashira, Kanai would have been around 13 at the time. If she started training soon after, maybe she joined the Corps around age 14 or 15. So if she entered later than Gyu, it's possible she also became a Hashira a bit later, maybe at 17, right before she died. That would mean she was just starting to shine when she was killed. At number 5, we've got Sanemi Shinazugawa. When he became a Hashira, the others already in the lineup were Gyomei, Uzui, Gyu, and Kanai. So yeah, it's pretty much confirmed that Sanemi was the 5th to join. He's also the same age as Gyu and Kanai, and since Kanai was still alive when he got promoted, That means he must have made it to Hashira by age 17 at the latest. We don't know exactly when he joined the Corps, but here's the wild part. Sanemi was already out there slaying demons before he even became an official demon slayer. Like, this dude was on a solo revenge arc long before the paperwork caught up. So it's not hard to imagine that he flew through the final selection and the Hashira promotion process at breakneck speed. Next up at number 6 is Shinobu Kocho. According to Rengoku, Gaiden, there's a scene where young Kyojuro attends a Hashira meeting in place of his father. And guess what? Shinobu is already there. That same meeting also includes everyone we've already mentioned except Kanai. So that tells us two things for sure. Shinobu became a Hashira after Sanemi, but before Rengoku. We don't know her exact age when she got promoted, but since it happened after Kanai's death, that means she was at least 14. And considering the timeline with Rengoku, which we'll get to in a sec, she must have become a Hashira before turning 17. At number 7, we've got the flame of our hearts, Kyojuro Rengoku. As we already mentioned, in Rengoku, Gaiden, there's a scene where Kyojuro attends a Hashira meeting as a regular demon slayer, while Shinobu is already a Hashira. So yeah, it's confirmed that Rengoku was promoted after Shinobu. Now, info about his age is pretty limited. But the Gaiden does tell us that Mitsuri joined the Corps at age 18. And shortly after her final selection, Kyojuro officially became the Flame Hashira. Since Rengoku is 1 year older than Mitsuri, it's pretty likely he was promoted at age 19. So even though we can't pin down the exact date, what is clear is the order. Rengoku was definitely 7th to become a Hashira among the current lineup. Coming in at number 8 is the mysterious and ever sulky Obanai Iguro. Now, I'll be honest, there's very little official info about his age or when he joined the Corps. So, we kinda have to fill in the blanks with some educated guesses. First off, in Rengoku, Gaiden. Obanai doesn't appear at the Hashira meeting, which means he definitely became a Hashira after Rengoku. But here's the twist. In the main story, we see him helping a freshly promoted Mitsuri who's lost in the Ubuyashiki mansion. So yeah, that strongly suggests he became a Hashira before Mitsuri, making him 8th in our lineup. As for his age, all we really know is that he was locked in a cell at age 12, basically held captive by his twisted family. The story says he spent years slowly scraping through the bars with a hairpin, so yeah. Escaping probably took a long time. If he finally broke out and started training at, say, 13 or 14, and considering his smaller build and stamina, it's reasonable to assume he officially joined the Corps around age 16. Coming in at number 9 is the sweetheart of the Hashira, Mitsuri Kanroji. So, when she was 17, she actually tried to go the Omiyai marriage route. But yeah, that definitely didn't work out. By the time she was 19, she had already become a full-fledged Hashira, and in the Gaiden, it's revealed that she passed the final selection after just 6 months of training. Like, what? She went from totally ordinary girl to top-tier warrior in under 2 years. Her physical strength is seriously next level. Mitsuri was trained as Rengoku's Tsuguko, and she passed final selection right before he became a Hashira, so it's confirmed she got promoted after him. And remember that scene where she gets lost at the butterfly mansion and is helped by Iguro? That little moment suggests she became a Hashira after Obanai as well. Also, can we talk about her flashback scene in the Swordsmith Village arc anime? So cute. So sad. I cry every time. No shame. And finally, at number 10, Muichiro Tokito, the child prodigy, the quiet killer, the guy who made Hashira status in just 2 months after picking up a sword. Yeah, 2 months. But here's the catch. We're not exactly sure what picking up a sword means in this case. Like, does it mean his very first time ever touching a blade? Or the moment he officially got his Nichirin sword from the Corps? We do know this. Muichiro lost his twin brother when he was 11 and suffered serious injuries himself. After that, he was taken in by the Demon Slayer Corps. but it's hard to imagine him starting training immediately with those injuries. So, if you think about the recovery time, physical rehab, and the actual start of his training, it's pretty likely that a lot of time passed before he officially joined. Once he got his Nichiren sword though, boom. 2 months to Hashira. Still, considering all the circumstances, it makes the most sense to say that Muichiro was the last among the current lineup to become a Hashira. And that wraps up the timeline of how each current Hashira rose to their rank. Looking at the big picture, it's pretty wild. Aside from Gyomei, almost every other Hashira got promoted within the past 5 years. So, by the time the Infinity Castle arc takes place, they've all had a few years of experience and are basically at their peak as Demon Slayers, which just makes the upcoming Infinity Castle movie all the more exciting, right? Now, just a heads up, a lot of what I shared today includes my own personal theories and timeline guesses. For example, some fans believe Muichiro became a Hashira before Iguro and right after Rengoku, so there are definitely different takes out there. If you've got your own theory or order in mind, drop it in the comments. I'd seriously love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep making fun, nerdy content like this. See you in the next one. Bye bye!